If you need a logo but you don't have any big budget or any design skills, AI logo makers are probably one of the fastest and most cost-efficient ways to get one. But are these logos actually high quality? And are the tools actually worth it? Today I'm going to test 4 of the most popular AI logo makers out there, so you can judge them for yourself before you actually spend anything. So, are you ready? Let's get into it. So, here's how this works. I will give each platform the same brief, so exactly the same brand name, this little coffee shop that I'm going to call Copper Kettle Coffee Roasters, right? So any difference will actually come down to the tool itself. I'll walk you through each one, and by the end of this video, you will have a really good idea of how these tools work and which one suits you the best. So first off is design.com, and they're the sponsor of this part of the video. But I'd already been testing it before any of this comes up. And either way, I'll be giving the same brief like I just mentioned, right? So we will just see how each of them perform. All right, let's get into it. So here I am on the design.com homepage, and I'm just gonna type in design me a logo for my coffee shop, and then our brand name, okay? So you don't actually have to manually change this. I'm just gonna click submit. So design.com actually uses a custom trained AI to build original concept from scratch. They don't pull from templates. So for the coffee brand here, it leaned into the kettle shapes. As you can see here, we have a lot of designs. Some of them have the steam, you know, like this warm brown, kind of very cozy color palette. Sometimes a little bit of orange or brown, which I really like. So let me just scroll through the logos here and see if there are a few that I like. Okay, now that I've shortlisted a few, and I think this is a great way for you to view all of the logos you kind of like, and you can make a final selection. So let's just go with this one to make some final changes. Okay, so when you're on this page, you can actually manually change some things yourself, including the text, the layout, the background color. You know, if you want a different color, you can do so manually. But what you can also do is just to tell the AI what kind of changes you would like to make, right? So let's say, for example, I want a different coffee cup design. So let's do this. So I'm just saying something like this. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, nice. As you can see, now we have a new coffee cup. So you can just change the design with AI like this. It's so simple. And once you're happy with the design, then you can click on download. And until this point, you have nothing to pay. So you can really play with all the logos, including the other logos in your shortlist if you want to. And it's super great to like brainstorm ideas and maybe present some logos to your friends and then finally make a decision. You can click on the download page, and you'll be taken to the payment page. And yeah, you can also preview your logo on the business card or like the website, or this is link in bio, for example. And it's once you're happy, then you can choose the package that suits your needs and go on with payment. Forgot to show you this, but you can always click on preview to see how your logo could look like. So this is a logo, right? And you can see how it looks like on your iPhone, your business card, the link in bio page, and also the store, right? So that's actually perfect. So design.com was actually quite easy to use, and I was quite surprised with the quantity and the quality of the logos it came up with, right? I was scrolling through and I was shortlisting so many. So I'm sure if I open a coffee shop one day, I'll be able to find a logo here. So it's quite a good start. And next up, we have BrandCrowd. Let's have a look. Now I'm on BrandCrowd website. Let's just give it the same coffee shop name. So let's start now. All right, so now we see these logo designs, and some of the designs, I have to say, look pretty similar to the ones we just saw on design.com, but let's have a look. On the left-hand side, you also have these filters where you can filter by logo styles and colors, but I don't see any like brown here, so let's just filter by orange and another style. Let's see, maybe classic. Yeah, so we have some really nice logos here. And now you can also shortlist. I feel like the interface is also very easy to use. So let's have a look, and I will shortlist a few as well. Okay, now let me show you the shortlist. In general, I also really like the designs here, but I feel like it's a little bit on the simpler side, or more similar results, I would say. Like, for example, these two or these ones. But I mean, the devil is in the details, right? So you have to decide which one fits your brand the most. And let's click on one to customize. So let's try a different one. This little bear I really like. So here I would say it's quite similar to design.com. You can also use AI to change something. Let's see if we want the bear to be like kind of happy bear, if that can make the change. So as you can see, we get a different bear here. It's so cute, holding the coffee cup. I really like it. I feel like for this design, I might just change the font a little bit. Let's try it. For example, this one, like that. And then I would say I'm pretty happy with this one. When you're done with your design, you can just click on download, then you will be taken to the payment page. Overall, I was really satisfied with the BrandCrowd interface. I think it was really easy to use. It was pretty similar to design.com. You just put in this brand name, and then you have this so many options to choose from. Then you can customize from there. I really like the interface. And this next one is something you probably already heard of, and it's the Wix logo maker, okay? Also called Wixel. So let's go on the website and let me show you how it works. On Wix.com, we're gonna give it the same brief again, so our little coffee shop. I'm actually getting quite excited for my coffee shop. Maybe I should open one, you know, now that we have the logos ready. But anyway, let's try this create a logo thing. Okay, you had to create an account, and now it's creating a logo. Now, I noticed that it is using Ideogram V3 to create the logos, and it presented us 4 logo designs. So let's have a look. So number 1 is this one. I don't think this is a very good logo, to be honest. Let's see the other ones. Okay, that one I quite like. It's pretty like a lab feeling. Then we have this one. Guess I don't really understand. I mean, it's a coffee machine. Then, okay, this one we have already seen. Then it's this one. So this one's pretty basic. So I think the only one I like is this one. Let's see if we add to stage. And now we can have a few directions here. Right, let's see. Show all options. Okay, I don't understand what is going on. Let's see. I want to customize this icon, but I cannot really do it here. Maybe I'm not super familiar with the Wix platform, but I feel like this is not really very user-friendly because I am already kind of lost about where to go. So let me try this, type in something here. Okay, I asked it to change the icon to something else, something similar, but with a new version. Let's see. Okay, so now we do have a new icon generated. So you can also change things with AI, right? That's a good thing. And basically, it is using ideogram, so I can also just go on ideogram to generate some logos. But I feel this is good if you're using Wix as your website builder, because then you can just use this, right? Download. Ah, that's very nice. You can already download the logo, and then you can already start with your website. So for me, I actually prefer this design a bit more. So we can save this. And now we have the logo. Okay, so now let's move on to the last tool. So I would say Wix was a bit more tricky, like in terms of the user interface. Like I was not so sure which button to click or how to like customize. And also we didn't have this many options to work with, right, at the start. So I don't know, I feel like from time to time, it can come up with a good option, but you might need to generate a few more so that you can have options to work with. And now we have the last tool, which is Looka. So I already tested this in my other video a few years ago. So I just want to see how it holds up here, and also did it update anything from last time. All right, let's check it out. Now, same as before, I'm gonna give it this little coffee shop name, and let's make a logo. So we need to answer some questions here. Okay. Hopefully there's coffee. Okay, we need to pick some logo styles we'd like. Feel like this is a little bit limiting because it's different industries. So we got coffee. I'm not so sure. This feels a little bit more techy. I'm just selecting a few based on the fonts and the style. And click on continue. Some colors we like. Don't know, there's no brown, but let's continue. Okay, company name. Let's try this. All right, so it comes back with some logos, and I feel like this is really not so suitable for the coffee shop or this industry. It feels way too technical, kind of like the startup feeling. So not at all good for the coffee shops. I'm trying to see if I can see anyone that I like. Just put together like a little icon with the name, but this might be good for like business or like startups, I think, but somehow I don't see anything that we can use. Maybe this one. Okay, I'm gonna favorite this and then a few more. Let me have a look. Okay, and then when you finally choose a logo, which I think this is pretty underwhelming as logo, but it can have some brand assets that come with it, like social profiles, business cards, or website and email signatures, similar as design.com. So like I said, I was honestly a bit disappointed for Looka for this one because I feel like if you want some simple or like text plus an icon option, then you can try Looka. But otherwise, the designs that it came up with, it just didn't speak to me. All right, so before I give you my final verdict, here are the 4 logos I actually went with for each platform side by side. So what do you think? Which one do you like? Which one do you think actually stands out? You can comment down below. So that's all for AI logo makers. And for me, I really liked design.com because I like the simplicity of its interface and also the so many options that we could choose from. I really like that for brainstorming. I feel like sometimes for logos, we just don't have an like initial idea. So it really helps if you can have a few options with the icons, like, and then you can iterate from there. Same as BrandCrowd, very, very easy to use. For Wix, I think it was a bit like, I don't know, felt a bit limited with its capacity. But I guess if you're building website on Wix, then it kind of makes sense. Then I think for the last one, Looka, as I said, pretty disappointed. I think this doesn't work for like a small business, local business like this one, but maybe for an easy like tech logo, you can find something, right? So that's it for today. I hope this video was useful to you. If you want to see a deeper like walkthrough of design.com, you can click on this video right here. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.